Hello, I'm Laura. It's Sunday, January 11th, 2025, and these are today's Heartlines. We begin a new weekly theme today of keeping the faith. This is a follow-up to last week's theme of the ground of faith, because as we went through that theme and looked at our headlines, we could see that there might be things happening in our world or even in us or in our lives that can shake that ground of faith. So we looked at turning to spiritual powers to firm up the ground, the spiritual powers that are within us. This week, we're taking a slightly different approach by looking at what we want to keep the faith in. For example, today, we are going to look at keeping our faith in humanity. And this is actually inspired by the events of this past weekend. They start with a very sad and tragic event of the shooting of Renee Nicole Good, and a lot of controversy that has come out of that, about that shooting. And it really has upset many people, especially when it is followed up by an attempted denial of how the shooting happened and a look at even sending more federal troops into the city of Minneapolis where this event took place. But what has happened instead is people have come together in more than 1,000 protests across the country of the United States to actually stand for the value of a single human life or of any of the lives affected by the ICE operations throughout the country. So by standing for that in the way that people have, a peaceful way, by demonstrating that an expression of concern and caring for others can be done peacefully and not violently, that is a way of keeping the faith in humanity. When we respond to the difficulty with a higher value, and the higher value of responding to what happened to Renee Nicole Good is peace. It's the freedom to say what there is to say, to feel what there is to feel, but to do so peacefully. So to keep our faith in humanity, we look for a way to peacefully express ourselves to others and to support others. So let's begin that journey to peace with others in ourselves right now by taking a deep breath and closing our eyes. And focusing on this thought. I renew my faith in humanity as I pursue what I can do for peaceful relations with others. I renew my faith in humanity as I pursue what I can do for peaceful relations with others. And so it is. So as the demonstrations continue across the country, let's hold in our heart a prayer that they remain peaceful, that they allow people to feel their feelings, to express what there is to express, but to do so peacefully, to demonstrate that violence does not have to be the answer to those tense moments and those difficult times. And when we actually practice that in our greater community or in our country, or when we're inspired by what we see others doing, then perhaps we can apply that to our own relationships in life. We can look to others and seek the ways to find resolutions to disagreements or to things that actually trigger some negative feelings in peaceful ways. I encourage you to do this in your life, to be able to share with others both honestly and peacefully, and to help build the world we all want to see, with equality and respect for all. Thank you for being with me, and we will continue keeping the faith. Have a good day.